Okay, welcome to the lesson today. I want to talk about auxiliary verbs today. And I can think of 5 different situations when we use auxiliary verbs, apart from the obvious situation. So without these more complicated situations, we do use them when people ask you a question. If somebody says, "Do you have brothers or sisters?" you can say, "Yes, I do," or "No, I don't." If somebody says, "Have you ever been to France?" you can say, "Yes, I have," or "No, I haven't." So that's perhaps the easiest one, and I'm not going to go into detail because I don't think there are many details. But these 5 situations are other times when we use auxiliary verbs as well. And the first 3 in particular cause problems, it seems to me. I think people very often mix up question tags and echo questions. And perhaps because they both have question in the title. Question tags are one person is speaking. For example, he doesn't like seafood. We use question tags, by the way, to check information. It's a way of checking information if you're not sure about something. So if you're not sure about your friend, you're ordering some food in a restaurant, and you say, perhaps he's asked you to order for him, and you say, he doesn't like seafood, does he? So we put "does he" at the end. Now notice that negative goes to positive. Okay, there's one person speaking and the negative goes to positive. So when you're speaking, you should be aware that if you're going to use a question tag, you need to use the opposite sign at the end of the question, at the end of the sentence. So with a different modal or auxiliary, you can speak English. We just need to change the positive to a negative. Can't you? And then we have the question tag at the end. The positive has become a negative here. You could say, "She won't come." If you're not sure that she'll come, she won't come. Will she? Maybe she will. Who knows? Will she? Again, sorry, I should put a question at the end of this because it makes it a question. The negative goes to a positive. Okay, and last example, he has been to France, hasn't he? This is present perfect, so has is the auxiliary, hasn't he? But of course, if it was you, it would be, "You haven't been to France, have you?" And so it would change, of course. Okay, so that's for question tags. Now, let's speak about echo questions now, and I'm going to take off these question tags, and I want you to remember that these are not the same because there are 2 people speaking now. Someone makes the first sentence, and a second person replies. So we use these echo questions also to check information and show interest, but it's when you're replying to someone. Your friend says to you, "He doesn't like seafood," and you are maybe quite surprised about this, and so there's a full stop there, and you say, "Doesn't he?" And notice that it stays the same in an echo question. It stays the same. Okay, and we use a capital letter because it's a different person speaking, so it's a new sentence. You can speak English and you say, "Can you?" If you're very surprised, your friend's speaking to someone else now. Can you? The sign stays the same in the echo question. She won't come, won't she? And he has been to France, has he? Okay, it's to show surprise now and interest in the conversation. That's what we use the echo questions for. Okay, very difficult now with the "so do I" and "neither do I." My students hate these, even when they're very fluent and confident speakers. They don't like this particular grammar. And I agree it's confusing, but once you just practice makes perfect. If you speak them many times, they do become easy. They really do. So let's have a look. What will we use here? He doesn't like seafood. Okay, if we want to agree with a negative, you want to say, "I also don't like seafood." You know, he doesn't like seafood, doesn't he? Neither do I. Let me put that in blue to make it clear. Neither do I. Okay, that means I also don't like seafood. Your friend says he doesn't like seafood. You say, "Doesn't he?" Neither do I. Okay, you can speak English, can you? Now, if you want to agree with a positive statement, you use "so." But we still use the same auxiliary. "So can I." Can you? So can I. She won't come, won't she? Okay, it's a negative, so if we agree, we have to say neither will I. Okay, and the last one, he has been to France, has he? So have I. But these are all agreements, and you may not want to agree. You may want to disagree. And so to disagree, I'm afraid I'm not going to have space here, so I'm going to have to take these off now. But to disagree, look at this. He doesn't like seafood, doesn't he? I do. To disagree here, I do. I do like seafood, really. Really, if you think about what you're saying, the rest of the sentence, it makes it clearer. I do like seafood. You can speak English, can you? I can't. I can't speak English. So again, think about the rest of the sentence and it makes sense. She won't come, won't she? I will. I will come tonight. Okay? So think about what's there again. And he has been to France, has he? I haven't. Okay, there's the disagreeing part. Okay, another situation that we use these auxiliary verbs is to avoid repetition. Here are my two examples, and you can see very clearly what they mean. It's quite similar to here, because here you're just missing out, you're avoiding repeating the I do like seafood, so you avoid repeating it. Well, you do the same in one sentence sometimes. I didn't go out last night, but my brother did go out last night. But we don't need to say go out last night, but my brother did, full stop. I was born in England, but my wife wasn't, full stop. Okay, my wife wasn't born in England, but we don't need to say that. So to avoid repetition, to make things shorter and clearer and simpler, we also use these auxiliary verbs. And lastly, emphasis. This is very important. We do use these auxiliary verbs to emphasize sentences. So we do use this grammar. I am emphasizing that this grammar, yes, we use this grammar every day, every time we speak. We're using these auxiliary verbs, so they are important. And if your friend perhaps thinks you haven't bought them a present, you can say, oh, I did buy you a present, but I forgot it. It's at home. So you're just emphasizing, you're making it stronger. Okay, I think that's all. Please try the quiz, which will be under the video. And if you have any questions or criticisms, or maybe I've made some mistakes, it's possible. You know, everybody makes mistakes. Please tell me about them, and we can discuss them. If you have any questions, please ask. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe if you'd like to see some more. Thank you.